for joining us on our first Periscope chat of Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. My name is Allison Tudor. I'm the Executive Director of the Alliance for Community Transformations, and I'm here with two of my colleagues to talk a little bit about teen dating violence policy work in schools. So why don't we start out by you two introducing yourselves and telling us a little bit about what you do at the Alliance.
Great, thanks Allison. I'm Caroline and I'm the Youth Programs Director for the Alliance. I work with CASA in Mariposa County, Ethos Youth Center, and Audrey at Mountain Crisis Services in the Prevention Services.
Hi, my name is Audrey and I work for Mountain Crisis Services, which is a domestic violence and sexual assault prevention agency. And the main way that we are doing prevention in Mariposa right now is by promoting healthy teen relationships and trying to emphasize the role that schools can play in promoting healthy relationships.
Great, thank you. And before we go any further, I forgot to say something very important. If you're watching us live on Periscope, please be sure to send us hearts and live comments. And if you're watching us on Twitter, you can also leave us some comments with the hashtag PreventionStar. End of message. So, next question. So why are these school policies really important to preventing adolescent dating abuse in schools?
We think that policy, and specifically school policy, is really important for reaching all levels of society. So for individuals, for relationships, community, and society. We think it's a great way to encourage systems change and social and cultural change in our communities. So that's why we're focusing on policy, advocacy, and our prevention efforts.
We also think these policies are important because policies affect students who are in school now, and then they also affect students who will be in school in the future.
Great. And why has this work been important not only to the schools and the youth, but also to our own organization?
The Alliance has many values, and one of our values is social change through education and advocacy.
Great, thanks. So I want to dive a little deeper into the work that you've all been doing to create these policies. So can you tell us a little bit about the stakeholders that you all have engaged through this work?
Yes, we've been working really closely with the school district here in Mariposa. We've been trying to reach out to not only administrators and decision makers, but also teachers and other school staff, and then of course engaging youth in our work as well.
Great, perfect. So it sounds like you all have done a lot of work around engaging organizations and different community groups. So are there any other community groups that you're working with? And then how are you specifically working with folks that aren't necessarily connected to agencies or organizations?
Certainly. So Mountain Crisis Services and the Alliance are both part of a group called MAPC, which is the Mariposa Abuse Prevention Collaborative, a group that meets on a monthly basis and includes representatives from many different organizations that may or may not be connected to the school district, such as the Sheriff's Department, Public Health, maybe the school district, Human Services, different individuals from even smaller community-based organizations. And at those meetings we talk about events that are happening, different initiatives, and we promote awareness between all the different groups.
And we've been trying to engage parents as well. We found that parents are really important stakeholders, not only because they have children in the school system here, but because they have really important voices that schools want to hear and want to listen to. So their feedback and their support has been really important in this.
Okay, so tell us a little more about how you are specifically increasing your efforts to engage folks in this February Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month.
Certainly. So this February we are having our second annual Youth Voices event, which is an event that features 4 different youth bands and also multimedia in the form of posters and public service announcement videos made by local youth at Mariposa County High School. And that event, as I said, is in its second year, and last year had over 80 attendees, and we hope this year even more people will join us on February 27th at, what time is that, Audrey?
3 p.m., 3 to 7 p.m.
Great, and it's at the Mariposa County High School.
Great. So tell me a little more about this postcard campaign. How
Yes,
does it work?
I'm glad you asked about the postcard campaign. It's something we're really excited about. We have created postcards that have 5 different messages related to different things that schools can do to help promote healthy teen relationships. We know they're already doing a lot, but some of the messages that we've included on the postcards are related to specific policy guidelines that we've developed. And the postcards are a way for other people in the community to send a message to their school board representative or the principal of the school where their child attends, or for other administrators within the school district. So we're really excited to be doing that, and just to provide another way for people to communicate and talk about this issue of promoting healthy relationships and school's role, and how we can all work together to do that.
Great. So you all have been involved with this work for a handful of years now. So can you speak to some of the challenges that you all have faced and how you've been addressing them?
Yes, there are some challenges. We've found, or we've learned, that the policy process is kind of a slow moving thing. So it's just been important for us to be patient and persistent, not lose sight of our goals, but to realize when maybe it's not the right opportunity to bring something to the forefront.
And then the local school district has a lot of important priorities, and they're all very busy individuals. And so sometimes it's challenging when people have these competing priorities to have the time to meet and everything like that. And so we've learned to be very flexible and open-minded in that.
Great. So in addition to the challenges you all face, I'm sure there have been many promising things that have happened. What sort of exciting shifts have you seen in the schools?
We've been really lucky to develop some great relationships with people who are either directly involved with the school system or who are other community partners. We're excited to be doing this event for the second year in a row at the school here in town. And yeah, we've seen a lot of enthusiasm and support for the work that we're trying to do. We don't feel like it's been opposed by anyone, but some of those other challenges we spoke to are still present, but we're sticking with it.
And we've also really enjoyed the amount of youth participation that we've had. As I said, this is our second annual event, and we have 4 times as many multimedia poster and PSA submissions as we did in the previous year. So that's been great.
Awesome. So if an educator were to ask you, what are the first steps they should think about if they're interested in having a teen dating violence prevention policy at their school, what would you tell them?
Well, I would say that they should talk to other educators that they work with who are also interested in this, and then together have a conversation with school leadership, let them know they would like to be involved, and ask if there's any ways that they can support this initiative.
We've also begun offering training to school staff in the area of promoting healthy teen relationships and understanding the problem of dating abuse. And so we've developed content for that and have been able to offer it to a few schools here. And that's been a really great way for us to reach out to school staff and initiate a discussion about the issues that we're trying to bring to the forefront. So that's been a really important step in our work.
Great. So similar to that, if there is a domestic violence or sexual assault agency that would like to begin policy work in schools, what would you say are the most important things when beginning?
I think developing relationships with those schools in your community is really important and necessary, and that can take time depending on how much work you've already done with your local schools. For us, it was, we met new people and we worked with people who we had worked with in the past, so we were doing a little bit of both, but that's been really helpful for our work to move forward.
And I would also suggest getting involved with any youth programs, and involving the youth voice in that discussion can always be passionate and provide a new energy.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing about all of your amazing policy work in the schools.
No problem.
And
do we have any questions for the audience, Allison?
Do we have any questions?
Yeah. Does the audience have any stakeholders that are important to them that they would like to involve? We would love to hear back from them.
Great. Yeah. So any answers to that question about stakeholders that you have found to be important to your work, put it on the Periscope chat or on the Twitter chat, and we hope to hear from you all.
And I actually have one question for all of you, which is, what are you most looking forward to about the future of your work on adolescent dating abuse?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. I'm really looking forward to hearing more conversations about building healthy relationships that are both romantic relationships and friendship relationships in school and outside of school. I think that's a really exciting conversation for young people.
And I'm looking forward to seeing more positive messaging about not only youth and their ability to be great leaders in our community and society, but just about their ideas about healthy relationships and how adults can support them in that.
Great. And I think I'm most excited because passing policy takes a lot of effort, but then the implementation process, which happens next, is a lot of new fun work. So I'm excited to get to that piece.
Great, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and for those of you who joined us for our test run before this. And we hope to see you on the next Periscope chat.
Thank you all.